She didn't expect a Christmas date to feel like rejection wrapped in ribbons. Yet as Emily sat alone in the warm glow of the restaurant lights, the empty chair across from her hurt more than she wanted to admit. She had tried, truly tried, to be hopeful. Christmas music played softly, strings of golden lights twinkled through frosted windows, and couples around her laughed over shared desserts. But the man she was supposed to meet had already texted 3 words, "Not my type," nothing more. No hello, no chance. Emily forced a smile to keep from breaking. She took a sip of water, staring at the door as if he still might walk in and say it was a misunderstanding. He didn't. Instead, her eyes caught a small girl peeking at her from across the restaurant. She had big hazel eyes, dark curls tied with a red ribbon, and a sparkly dress that looked like something chosen with excitement a week before Christmas. Beside her sat a tired man, late 30s, beard untrimmed, shirt slightly wrinkled, the look of someone trying too hard but feeling out of place. Her father. He kept checking his phone, his expression dimming more with every notification that wasn't the one he hoped for. Emily forced her gaze away and pretended everything was perfectly fine. But heartbreak has a way of sitting too loudly in the chest. She had always believed Christmas meant family, warmth, and belonging. But every year, she watched others experience that magic while she stood outside the circle, watching happiness like a snow globe she couldn't touch. Her last relationship ended 2 years earlier, when her fiancé walked away because she couldn't have children. The doctor's voice still echoed in her memory. "I'm sorry, Emily. Pregnancy will not be possible for you." Those words didn't just break her heart, they changed the way others saw her. At first, people told her she was strong, but slowly the pity arrived, the awkward silence, the subtle change in tone. And then the final blow, her fiancé saying, "I want a family and you can't give me that." Since then, dating felt like walking barefoot on broken ornaments. Tonight, she hoped things would be different. But the empty chair reminded her maybe she wasn't meant to belong. She gathered her coat ready to leave, when a small voice appeared beside her. "Hi." Emily blinked. The same little girl from earlier stood at her table, holding a Christmas cookie wrapped in a napkin. "I'm Lily," she said with a soft smile. "My dad said I shouldn't talk to strangers, but you look lonely." The honesty stung and warmed her all at once. Emily knelt slightly. "I'm Emily. And thank you, I guess I was a little lonely." Lily placed the cookie on the table as if offering treasure. "You can have this. Daddy says cookies fix sad feelings." Emily laughed softly, something she hadn't done in days. "Thank you. That's very kind." Before she could say more, the man, Lily's father, hurried over. "I'm so sorry," he said, cheeks flushed with embarrassment. "She likes helping people. She didn't bother you, did she?" "Huh, no," Emily said gently. "She made my night better." The man exhaled, eyes softening with relief. "I'm Daniel," he said, "and thank you for being kind." His voice carried exhaustion, but also sincerity. There was a pause, a comfortable one. But then, out of reflex, Emily stepped back emotionally. "Don't get attached," her mind warned. Daniel nodded politely and guided Lily back to their table. Emily watched them. The love in that little family was quiet, imperfect, but real. She should leave. She knew she should, yet a small tug in her heart said stay. Minutes passed. Daniel and Lily shared their dinner, giggling at bad jokes and silly napkin drawings. Emily kept glancing, not out of sadness, but curiosity. Eventually, Lily waved at her again. Daniel chuckled, shaking his head. Something about that little girl felt like warmth after a long winter. Finally, Emily took a breath, walked over, and asked softly, "Would you mind some company?" Daniel looked surprised, then relieved. "Please," he said. "Would love that." And Emily sat beside Lily, and instantly the girl leaned close, as if they'd known each other forever. They talked about Christmas traditions, favorite movies, dreams, and memories. Daniel shared that he had been a single father since his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Christmas was hard for them too. Not because they lacked love, but because they missed someone irreplaceable. Emily shared nothing about her heartbreak, not yet, but her smile began to feel less forced. Time slipped gently like snow falling in silence. At the end of dinner, Lily crawled into Emily's lap and whispered, "Can I tell you a secret?" Emily nodded. Lily cupped tiny hands around her mouth and said, "You look like a mom." Emily froze. The words cracked something open inside her, something she had buried beneath every rejection and every painful memory. She blinked, tears forming before she could stop them. Daniel looked startled. "Lily?" "Sweetheart." But Lily wasn't done. She looked up with the softest, most innocent eyes and asked loudly enough for the whole table to hear, "Can you be my new mom?" Daniel's breath caught. Emily's heart shattered and rebuilt itself in the same instant. Silence settled around them, a rare, meaningful kind of silence. Emily swallowed, voice trembling. "Oh, Lily, I can't replace your mommy. She must have been wonderful." Lily nodded gently. "She was. But you feel the same warmth." Daniel rubbed his forehead, emotional and unsure. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "She's been asking Santa for a mom every Christmas since she could talk. I never imagined she'd say that to someone. Emily held Lily close, not as a replacement, but as someone who understood longing. For a moment the world felt still. Daniel looked into Emily's eyes. No pity, no judgment, no fear. Just a quiet question neither of them dared to speak out loud. Could this be something real? They exchanged numbers before leaving, both unsure, but hopeful. Over the next weeks, they met for hot chocolate, winter walks, ornaments shopping, and snowman building. Lily always held Emily's hand first. Daniel slowly let his walls fall. Emily let her heart breathe again. On Christmas Eve, as snowflakes layered the world in white, the three of them sat by Daniel's fireplace, warm light flickering across soft smiles. Emily finally whispered her truth. I can't have children. Daniel reached for her hand. I don't need someone who can, he said softly. I need someone who wants to love us. Lily climbed onto her lap and whispered, You already do. Emily's eyes filled, not with pain this time, but gratitude. For the first time in years, her heart didn't feel empty. It felt full, overflowing. Months later, standing beneath blossoming spring trees, Daniel knelt with a small velvet box and trembling voice. Not because we're broken, not because we're lonely, but because together, we are something beautiful. Will you marry us? Emily couldn't speak. She nodded, and Lily shouted, I knew it. That Christmas, exactly 1 year after the night rejection turned into destiny, Emily tucked Lily into bed and kissed her forehead. Best Christmas ever? Lily whispered sleepily. Emily smiled through happy tears. It really is. Outside, snow fell softly like a blessing, and inside, 3 hearts that once knew loneliness now knew family. And for the first time, Emily believed sometimes the greatest gifts are the ones we never expected.